Good day, my name is Doug. I'm playing 7 Days to Die. This is Alpha 18.3. Day 1, actually the very beginning, as you can see, we have a note that when the game first starts. Dear friend, the wasteland can be an unforgiving place. I found you naked and left for dead with no supplies. It looks like you crossed the Duke in a bad way and you could use some help. Enclosed is a short guide to help you survive. If you complete it, we might just take in a new citizen. The White River Settlement, it's real and it's safe. Peace be with you, your friend. Peace be with you, friend, Noah. So there we go. Apparently we're waking up. No memories, no equipment. We've got nothing. So we're going to go ahead and start. Now, so far as waking up with no memories and no supplies, let me kind of tell you a funny story here. I'm actually marking this as my start location. I like to know where I started from so I know how far I have to go in any direction. I actually have been trying to both stream and there we go. Both stream and record my 7 days Let's Play, essentially, games for a little bit now. Haven't been very successful at it. I've discovered a lot of things about OBS along the way. In my last attempt, I actually was being fairly successful. Got through to day 4 when I got called away from the computer. Thought I'd shut everything down. Came back a few hours later only to discover that my character had been running for, well, it was day 11. I was dead. So this is actually a restart of that, so I can try and pass along some of the tips that I've learned along the way. Now, the good news is, oops, hang on for a second. Okay. The good news is I have actually learned quite a bit here, and so hopefully this will be a better offering than what I would have done with my other one, but we'll see. Anyway, that is my clue. I've been playing this game for quite a number of years now, and I've racked up a fair amount of experience, so I wanted to pass along the tips that I have so that I can get you going, help you get going if you're a new player. So anyway, one of the things I highly recommend is that we do the start quests, and so right now I'm going around and I'm collecting plant fiber, and you do that by simply locating a plant and then left clicking with no weapon in your hand, or you can use a weapon, but it's a waste of the weapon's lifespan to do so. And once I've collected that, we're going to go ahead and make the bedroll, which is of course the first object of this quest. Okay. Now I move that from my backpack to my belt by holding down the shift key and left clicking, which moves things from one basically game storage. No, that's the wrong word for it. But anyway, it will move it without having to click and drag on it. You can also use this to empty out like storage things that you find out in the wilderness. If I find trash or anything like that, I will be happy to show you that as well. The other thing you may have noticed is I'm not straying very far from my starting point. This is one of the reasons why I do mark it. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, once you've completed the quest, you'll be directed to a trader, and if you've been running off in the wrong direction, that adds to your travel time. The other is when you first start the game, you are in a safe zone. You have a certain amount of time, and it's a couple hours as I recall, but you have a certain amount of time where no zombies will spawn, and you also have a certain amount of distance that you can travel where it will not spawn zombies. I'm collecting more fiber here because I'll need it, but what I actually need to be collecting is wood, and I haven't found any yet. Well, that's not true either. I have found a lot of wood, it's not in an easily harvestable form. Let me show you this will give me wood and coal, but in order to collect it, I've got to beat on it approximately 50 times for one piece of wood. So there are woody plants that you, if you can find them, you know, one below of your fist, and you collect that piece of wood. So since half of this game is about time management, sitting here and beating on, yes, this is what's happening. And this is actually one of the reasons also why I'll be pausing this video for like when I travel long distance, or when I'm collecting resources that don't involve any kind of combat. You don't want to be watching this. It's boring. It offers nothing really in the way of learning a new trick or whatnot. So yeah, you can expect to see jumps where I pause the video, pause the recording, and just go. For those of you who watch on the stream, and I do stream this on Twitch as well, you don't get that break. Basically, you have to put up with the whole thing. But on the other hand, you can chat at me, and I'll try and chat back. Although, to be honest, I am still really new at all this, and it's not something that I'm very good at yet. Anyway, I almost have my second piece of wood. Once I have that, I will be able to go ahead and make that stone axe. And then suddenly it becomes a lot more palatable to be collecting wood this way, although there's actually much better ways to collect wood even once I have the axe. Okay, so to create, excuse me, to create the axe, I'm going to just click on the stone, then I'm going to click on recipes. There it is, stone axe, and we craft it. And 4 seconds later, yay! Okay, again, that was a shift left click that brought that down to from my backpack to my belt. Oh, and here's one of those the rocky plants that or woody plants that I was talking about. Let me show you just how fast this runs. Hey, look at that. 3 experience points, 2 wood. That's all it would have taken. Okay. So, I've already collected enough plant fiber, as I was mentioning earlier, to go ahead and do the plant fiber pants and the plant fiber shirt. So we'll get those rolling. And then once they're created, there we go. The next thing will be to wear them. There we go. And then I need to collect a little bit more wood. Oh, I do have another note that I need to read. Here we go. Whoops. My dog has figured out the magic of flipping my mouse hand. Okay. So, just a friendly reminder that you pay on time every time, or there will be consequences. Next time we won't be so nice. Thanks for the gear, but you still owe us. See you soon, the Duke. And I'm just gonna excuse me. I'm just gonna scrap that note because, yeah, that's what the Duke deserves. I am picking up rock because, yeah, that will be coming in handy here for the last 2 of the quests that I have to complete. I'm coming up to a tree, and then I'm crouching using the control key. If you're on a console, well, of course all these commands will be different. This is for the PC, which is what I play on. And now I'm just going to go ahead and chop this tree down. You can see on the screen it's showing the number of hit points that it has and the number of hit points it has left. Every time I hit it, of course, I'm doing some damage. Down in the lower right hand corner of the screen, you'll see the resources and the experience that I'm accruing while I'm doing this. Of course, I'm getting way more wood than what the quest requires, but having said that, resources you can get enough of. So right now I have an 152. Need to do a wooden club, so go ahead and craft that. Okay. And the wooden club is actually a very crappy weapon. It's not one I will particularly use, but it's one we have to make. Okay. And now the bow. The primitive bow is the entry-level bow.
let's see how many arrows I can make. I can make 11 arrows, which is going to still leave me with wood. Good. So we're going to go ahead and craft 11 as opposed to the one that is the requirement. But that's just because, hey, the bow is something I do use, and I will get it up to a crossbow as quickly as I can, but it is a silent weapon, which means the zombies won't necessarily home in on you. The one you hit will always home in on you, but every other zombie in the field won't hear it, so they won't. Okay, once you have placed certain blocks or whatnot, you can either repair them or upgrade them. Repairing if they get damaged, and let me just show you here. Damage. Okay, you can see I've done 2 points of damage. The stone axe is a repair and upgrade tool, so I can fix or repair something, or I can upgrade it, and they're just upgraded. And now I need to have, oh, drat, I used up all my stone making arrows. That was silly. Yeah, we all make mistakes, so I need to collect 4 more stone. Oh, here we go. Trash. Nothing. Okay. I highly recommend opening up trash, especially in the beginning of the game, because even if there's nothing in it, you still get experience. Okay. And you heard that little drum beat, or whatever you want to call it. That indicates that you've met the requirements for a quest item. Okay. There's that. Okay, and there's the campfire, and that completes the basic quest. Now, when you complete the first base, oh, here we go. Good job, survivor. You have proved to be capable with much potential. We have marked your map with the nearest White River outpost location. That's the trader. There you'll find a trader where you can buy and sell goods, trade stories with one of our friendly citizens. Welcome aboard, Noah. Noah's a really friendly guy, but I wish he'd like hang around and help me rather than just giving me notes. Okay, so the trader is 1.3 kilometers away, and if you take a look at the compass at the top of your screen, you'll see that orange or yellow exclamation point, whatever you want to call it. That actually is the active quest. You can have multiple of those up there when the rest will all appear as white, but the colored one is the one that's active. Now, there's a lot of people that will kind of recommend that you hold on to food and water. Frankly, in this game, it just gives you, you have what you have, and when you've used it, it adds to your reserve. And so as long as you don't die, that's the one thing that will reset the reserve. Carrying the extra food and water is just space in your inventory, which you may or may not need as time goes on. So I'm just going to go ahead and eat and drink that right now. Going to get rid of the club. I've got a bunch of coal. I don't have any stone. I need to find stone. But we need to start running off towards the trader, because 1.3 kilometers is actually a fair distance away. And we have to find someplace safe to stay before nightfall, which is 10 p.m. Okay, so I'm going to put this on pause while I go ahead and run down here. That way you don't have to sit through this whole thing. I'll pick this up here when I find something exciting. Okay, so I haven't actually run too terribly far, but I have picked up enough rocks to go ahead and make a stone spear. We got a vulture up there. We also have a town in the distance, and that's actually a really good sign. I like towns. There's also, you'll find small villages on occasion, but I'm looking for a town that's going to give me enough resources to actually get the game started in a good way. We'll have to keep half an eye on that vulture because they do attack, although in the early part of the game they might not be quite so aggressive. And then you can see just ahead of me, there is a zombie that is on fire. This is actually one of the creatures of the wilderness. So he has to go. So, oh crud. That's the problem with throwing spears, is, well, throwing the spear. Okay.
Throwing the spears actually involves a right click, and it's actually considered a power attack. Oh yeah, there we go. It does twice the damage as a normal attack, so that is a good thing. And there's the town. Kind of mixed on whether or not I should walk you guys through that. I am collecting stone right now because it's always, you can never have enough stone. Oh, it looks like there's some coal up ahead. I'll be taking a look at that here in just a moment. So I guess you're going to just have to bide with me. And I'm only going to go through the one phase of this. You actually can, there's 3 phases to totally destroy that. Oh, this is coal and nitrate. This is worth keeping a record of. Because I may coal. Okay. And then we have this gentleman here who needs my attention, and darn it, he moved it just the wrong moment. I like the spear. Oh, I haven't assigned my points yet. Do that. Okay. Now, one of the things supposedly is that there's a much less chance that the birds will attack you when you're not wounded. Much more chance of them attacking you when you are. So I'm going to take a point in javelin because, well, I like that. A point in lucky looter because that will increase my chance of getting better stuff from the things that I search. Okay, I'm going to put a point into healing factor because, yeah, you need to be able to heal. And normally I would put a point into advanced engineering, but I think I'm actually going to hold off on that until I actually get... There are pluses and minuses to that. I'm going to hold the point though, because I have been finding a lot of schematics in this game lately. And schematics actually let you build things without having to put the development points into them. And I can think of a couple other places I would like to put points if I get the chance. Okay, so here I've got a couple things. Holding shift. No, just R. I'm sorry, shift. Just R takes everything through. That was silly. Okay, so should I keep you guys in the game while we run through here? Because I am just like a scavenger in a lot of ways. Okay. Whoops. Want to make sure there's just one up there. You can actually get into a situation where you have like 4 or more of those things attacking all at once. There we go. Got him. Got him. Got him. And there's a car over there. I search every car and every mailbox. Because cars give you good stuff. You never know what you're going to find off of those things. And here I have a schematic for a grenade. Not a bad thing to get, but that's what I was meaning. I would not have been able to make that for, I think, several levels of Demolition Expert. And now I don't have to put those points in. Okay, and then this is a gold rock. That gives you nitrate. It gives you, well, rotten meat. And it also gives you bones. Those are good things to have. Okay, so we have a shotgun messiah here. Bad thing to have marked out. You have to pick your own icons for what you want to use. I have ones that I've developed over time. to watch your time too. It's 2:30. It's starting to get a little busy. Oh dear, and a dog. Dogs are bad. Dogs will kill you. Where it is? There it is. I hate using that this early in the game, but no choice. Because, yeah, dogs will kill you. And he also got me infected. Not the sort of thing I wanted to have at the beginning of the game, but you deal with what you gotta deal with. Okay. So, I now have clocks running. Oh, I got an auger first thing. Oh, that is so good. I have to find a wrench now so I can wrench cars and get gasoline, but having an auger early in the game will make life so much easier. I'm also collecting, looks like a couple of treasure maps. And treasure maps are good too. They will give you a fair amount of treasure, for lack of a better word. Now, one of the things you have to worry about with zombies, is that if you damage them, they can get this rage mode going. And that's where they will run at you, which can be a very unpleasant surprise if you're not ready for it. I am a little vulnerable in that I don't have a melee weapon. Oh, look at that. What the heck? Iron tools. I mean, I have the auger, yes, but the auger requires gasoline. Iron pick does not, so I'm actually doing really well in this early part of the game. I just have to make sure I don't die, because, yeah. Okay. Whoops. That sounded like, yeah, that was. The bird. And bone. Recipes. Bone knife. Craft. Okay. You want to use a bone knife or some other sharp-edged weapon. Butchering the animals you kill, because you'll get more resources from them. And then I didn't use it. Made it, but didn't use it. Okay, I really can't afford this time. I punched it. Okay. Now, if you take a look on the left-hand side, you'll see from my... you'll see that picture of the guy who is bent over and the number 3 behind him. That means that I am overloaded. And so I'm going to make a drop chest. Let's see. And basically, I'm going to transfer the things into it that I don't currently need. And to be honest, these are easy to make, so we'll just go ahead and leave that there as well. That's so I can find it later. As the game progresses, you'll start finding chests all over my map, so I always put
the frames there to mark the ones that have things in them. And you'll see how I am recovering hit points in the lower left-hand corner. That's why I actually choose the healing factor. Because otherwise you don't get points back. And a flashlight, that's a good thing to have. Attack cry of... There we go. Now you'll see the difference between the stone axe and the bone knife. I'm picking up rock because all of my stone weapons, to repair one, making them again is using rock, but also to repair them. Oh, a hammer, yay. And 10 bone, that's kind of cool. Whoops, what was that? There's another one. That one I didn't hear anything about. That was a stealther. And it cost me a bunch of points. But I don't have any. Okay. I'm coming out the far side of the town now. 5 o'clock. It's getting really late. I actually need to find a place to hole up. So it's time to stop collecting things. It's time to start just running straight out. Oh, and actually, there it is. That's the crater right there. And eggs and feathers, you can never really pass them up. Okay, very nice. We're coming into a forest biome. Now, the forest biome is generally more forgiving, but it also is populated by wolves, which you have to be careful about. Wolves are like dogs, except that they will kill you faster, but you can also get good meat off of them, so it's always kind of a mixed, you know. Yes, I'm happy to see them if I survive the encounter. Yeah. Okay, I don't have a whole lot of time here, so I'm just going to go in and check in with this guy.
Great weather we've been having.
Get it. See what kind of jobs he has. Okay, you want to... I always go with the one that's closest, so buried supplies.
I have a dilemma. Godspeed.
And let's see what he has on him. So I always start here. It has a lot of recipes and schematics. Ah, yes, okay. You know, I only have one Duke, so it's not like I'm buying anything, but oh, that would be nice. That's for bows. I had another claw hammer, but I already got one of those. Cement mixer for 5. Beer. I was actually hoping he might have some honey, but he doesn't. Okay.
Sorry I didn't have what you needed. Come back soon. I'll restock all.
Okay. So traders always have honey. Nope. Traders always have workstations, but they're not always functional. So, like this is a workstation, it's destroyed, but there's a steel sledgehammer in it. There's my melee weapon. Also, a lot of times if the workstation is destroyed, it will have a schematic for a complete one. I was the wrong one. There we go. Forge. And the forge is destroyed. It has nails, though. And then the chem lab. Oh, the chem lab works. That's a good thing to have. Let's see. And then the cement mixer. And so the only functional workstation here is the chem lab, but you can see there this got a cement mixer schematic. So I can make cement mixers now. Okay, so next thing I do is mark this. Chem lab, there we go. Okay. What time is it? 6:30. It's getting late. I'm not happy about this. But let's see what we have here. We have food. That's a good thing to find. A die. Who cares? Another die. Some more food. Okay. Oh good, a cooking pot. I'm going to need that. One of the reasons I like to come here is I can use this as a secondary drop chest essentially. Because there's nobody else playing the game, I don't have to worry about this stuff disappearing. And I may need that, so we'll go ahead and keep that. Don't need any of that stuff. Don't need that. Right. Don't need. Oops, that is full. Okay. Without gas, I don't need the auger, so I'm going to leave it behind, although it pains my heart to do so. Okay. I just don't have time right now, so I've got to go find a place that I can roll up for the night. Oh, hey, look, buildings. Okay. There's essentially 4 kinds of houses I like for what I call perches. Okay, my beginning game start location. Let's see what we have over here. Anything? Don't see anything. Okay, so we'll go this way. I saw some buildings over here. Look, there's a road, so cut over to the road. I'm not going to fight him right now. I don't have time. Okay, yep, there are houses this way. Okay, that house is too big. Although I can nerd pole up the side if I have to and spend the night that way. Oh, look. Okay. Here's one of the houses that I like to use for a beginning game perch. Did I just hear a dog? So for me, a beginning game perch has to have, well, it has to have 2 stories because you can't really survive a single story. The zombies can come through too easily. And it has to be something that you can take fairly easily. Hello. Get rid of the stairs. Now there's some zombies downstairs as well, which I will take care of if I have time. But I can survive the night with them downstairs. That's not an issue. I just have to be able to keep them from coming upstairs. You may notice I have to keep going and repairing this. Yeah. I'm definitely hearing a dog or a wolf. Not one that's close, but one that is definitely in the area. Okay. And then, yeah, I am familiar with this particular building. So, I know how to take care of all the things, all the ways that they can get up. And this was definitely one of them. Actually, let's go ahead and... yeah. Those are the two ways that you can get onto the second story of this building. And now that I have that taken care of, I am going to do a quartering of the area to try and find that damn wolf. Okay, well. So, downstairs we do have a couple of zombies. Darn it, I was almost that headshot. There's one. I think that's the other one. Nope. Time is it? 21. That other one. Oops. There it is. And that's why I love sledgehammers. Of course, the downside to a sledgehammer is it just uses up stamina like you would not believe. Get my arrows back. Okay. 2135. let's see what we have with passing gas. Oh, a wheel. That's good. And it looked like, what was that, steel or iron? Iron? Nope, steel. Good. A couple things that is used for. Okay. And this is nerd polling. Shoot, missed. Okay, this is embarrassing. Damn it. Come on. All right. Okay. Make sure I don't fall down. Let's go ahead and put a torch up where it will do me some good. Okay. Take a look and see what's in here. Headlight. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove this carpeting, and then otherwise get this space ready for me to be here for a little while. But we're going to go ahead and call this video because it's dark and nobody likes to watch a dark video. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning.